Hello my dears, and welcome to my channel. I'm very happy and grateful that you have chose to spend your time with me. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a repeat viewer, welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me. Before we meet our deck, I wanted to let you know about the many ways you can support my channel. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe so I can appease the mighty algorithm and be seen by more people and grow as a channel. Or if you want to be notified of a new video that I have released, click on the notification bell. Or you can buy me a coffee. And any proceeds I get from coffee go back into buying decks so that I can review on here. So I make no monies. And with that being said, we have the Antique Anatomy Tarot, which was created by Goodchild, and it was published by Abrams Noterie on September 10th of 2019, and at the time of its release it retailed for $29.99. So it could be different now, it could be more or less. Okay, so it only has this side for title stackability that I look for in a deck to where I can stack, because I like to keep the boxes with the deck. Unless it comes without a box, I always keep the deck box with it. But that's just my choice, and I'm not saying you have to do that. And you have the nice pictures on the sides of the deck. And then on the back, we have a description. Oddities and curiosities await you in the Antique Anatomy Tarot. Enliven your readings with this exquisite deck of tarot cards which feature vintage anatomical illustrations and delicate botanical drawings. The accompanying guidebook offers insights for every card and explores the many ways you can use the deck for self-discovery and personal growth, a wildly creative interpretation of the practice. The Antique Anatomy Tarot is an indispensable tool for the contemporary reader. And it says it comes with an 80-page guidebook with full-color photography and 78 illustrated tarot cards. And then you get a little bit of a teaser of what the guidebook and a couple of the cards look like. And then you have the bottom with the publisher and a little thing about Goodchild and the website that she has her items at for sale. Alright, so the box is pretty sturdy. It's like a keepsake box, and it just slides open, and in the box itself it has a little illustration with some hands. It's all in your hands, and then you pull out the guidebook, and here is the guidebook for you, and we will explore that. The one thing I was really disappointed in was the packaging. As you can see, the cards do not all fit. They don't fit in this this little card holder. The cards are going to slide. I mean, it's nice. And then you have a drawing of the suits at the bottom, but for whatever reason, they don't stay snug. As you can see, they will, a few of the cards will slide around, and they'll stay snug when you put the book in and close the deck box. But that's the one thing that I really didn't like about the packaging. Alright, so let's look at these cards. So in my tarot deck showcasing videos, as I call them, I compare the suits. So if you are a beginner looking for a new deck that is similar to the Rider-Waite, this will give you a general idea of the comparative cards together, and you can kind of figure out if you want to get this deck or not. And the weight of the box with the cards in it is 1.25 pounds. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so the cards themselves are the same size as a traditional tarot. And the artwork on the back, reversals will be revealed. Let me pan down a little bit more. All right. So if you're working with reversals, they will be revealed. It does follow the traditional tarot insofar as it does the 78 cards, major, minor arcana. The suits have been changed. The cups are elixirs. The wands are rods. The pentacles are coins. And the swords are blades. So they are similar. So they haven't been totally to where you're like, what is that? What suit is that? You can pretty much still kind of tell. All right, so let's go through the major arcana and show those off. This starts with the Fool, and at the bottom you have the title and the number with a figure. We have the Magician, the High Priestess, and as you can already see, she has flowers and basically the human body that represents each card. So we have the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, and I can't say it is a very interesting deck. I really do like it. Star, the Moon, Sun, Judgment, and the World. Okay, so that is the major arcana, and this is a pip deck. If you are not familiar with what a pip deck is, it is basically a deck that has minimal illustrations and goes kind of by numerology. So, as a beginner reader, if you're not really sure about pip decks, just to let you know that this one is a pip deck. Okay, so now we will go on to the Elixir's Cups. And she has numbers instead of the ace. But, aces are ones. They are the beginning of the suit. And pips will have normally how many, like 3, instead of having a detailed illustration like the 4. It's got all of this illustration in it, and this just has flowers and 4 elixir bottles to illustrate it. So it would have been nice, but she created the deck, and I don't fault creators for how they create their decks. It's still an interesting deck. I like it. And on the court cards, she does label them with page, and she has a skeleton of each court card. And I like that she puts beauty potion for the queen, and as you saw in this one, fertility, knights, and then on this, on the page, eternal youth, because the pages are the youngest of the court cards. The knight are the next oldest, and the queen has a beauty potion, and then the king is calming tonic, because kings represent, mastery. They know their stuff. They're calming. They could have a calming presence. Okay, now we have the rods with the wands. Okay. And it's the same thing. You have your pip representation, the ace with 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and this is also a good deck if you want to learn about botany as well. Study the different flowers that she has in the cards. And then in this suit, she has put skeletons that represent the age, I think. So you have like a very young skeleton as the Page of Wands, and then you have an older skeleton for the knight. You have, this skull does look feminine to me. And then you have the, this does look like a male skeleton. Okay. Next, we have Queens for Pentacles. Okay. When I first started working with these, I kind of looked at it as a mystery as to why she chose the symbols that she did for each card. And it really became fun because I like to understand the why behind the creator's thoughts and motivations for what they put in their cards for symbolism. Okay, and so we have the same for the court cards. Maybe younger skeleton and older. Okay, so, and then we follow it up with the blades and swords. And I do believe that all of the instruments that are in the deck are used for mortuary. Okay, and then we have skeleton heads again. Okay, and then we finish this up with the King of Blades. Okay. And on her website, she does have other decks. She has the Arcania of Astrology. Oh my God, I can say that word. Astrology Oracle deck. She's also into astrology. So she's come out with a couple of astrology decks. The other one is the Compendium of Constellations Oracle deck, and she also has Oracle of Oddities, first and second edition, and then there is a Memento Mori Oracle deck. I recently purchased that and I'm expecting that, so I will be doing a future video on that. And on her website, she also currently has a pre-order of the Memento Mori expansion deck. And apparently she does these once a year. And and she's taking orders until August 1st. And it's this expansion deck has 42 cards, and it is time specific. She has other ones that have different themes on them, but this one is time specific, and you can use it with your tarot deck, or you can use it with the oracle deck, or you can pretty much use it with any deck. And it is $33, and in it, it contains 12-hour cards, 7-day cards, 3-day part cards, 4-week cards, 4-season cards, and 12-month cards. So with this expansion deck, you can do a reading that is time specific instead of trying to decipher, oh, I've got a 3 of whatever. Okay, is that 3 days? Is it 3 weeks? Is it 3 months? Is it 3 years? So instead of wondering and trying to figure it out, you can actually nail it down to a specific time with this oracle deck. And I did order it because I'm a sucker. What can I say? But I will be doing a video on that after I get it. It won't be until after August, sadly, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's go into this guidebook, which is so nice. It's really nice. Even though it's only 80 pages, it's a really nice guidebook. I was really happy with it. Okay, so it does give you a content page, which is nice. I like it, so I don't have to sit here and thumb through it. And she does her introduction, and she goes into how she became associated with tarot and how she started. And I will let you pause that and let you read that at your leisure. Then she goes into the history of tarot. She gives a little background on tarot itself. And she goes into explaining the major and minor arcanas and talks about pip decks. And I will let you pause that and read that at your discretion. And then she goes into numerology, which is nice, which is really nice because I do like to use numerology with the tarot myself. And it does help if you do get a pip deck, because pip decks do go by numerology meanings. And she also gives you the different associations with the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And companion cards. And then astrology. Some people choose to associate tarot with astrology. She gives you a little bit of background on that. Okay. And elements and colors. How you can use those as well. And then ways that you can use the tarot. She lists suggestions, and she does give you some sample questions, which is always nice because, as everybody has learned in tarot, if you don't ask a specific question, you're gonna get something really generic. So that's one of the tricky things about readings, is asking a good question. Not the right question, I don't want to say that, but a good question. And caring for your decks, if you want to do cleansing, if you want to initiate your deck, and if you want an altar for your reading, and tips on storing your deck. So she gives you a little bit of that too. And then she gives you some spreads. Get the 1 card spread, 3 card spread, and a moon cycle spread. You get the placement of the cards and what the cards mean. And then you get your Celtic cross. And then we go into the different cards. And she separates the major arcana and gives you a color picture, which is nice. And then she gives you the numerology, astrological, elemental, and companion card. And she gives you the upright meaning. There is no reversal meanings in her card, her book. I can talk, really. So she goes through that, and she gives you some background on it, and then you get the next 2 cards together. The one thing that she doesn't go into is why she chose the certain body part for the card. Like, for instance, like the star. Now, this would be kind of hard to interpret. If you know anatomy, it might be simple, but from this alone would be kind of difficult to know that that's the star card. Now, this temperance, I can see her reasoning behind this, because you've got both sides of your brain and you're trying to balance them out. And the devil, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And death, yes. And the hangman is usually upside down, but she's chosen this. And I understand justice, because you have your head and your heart, and to balance those out. But there are some, like strength. I'm not sure what that bone is. It could be a leg bone or something. But there were some that threw me off. And I know the longer you work with the deck, as with any deck, you'll figure it out. Okay, so then she splits the minor arcana. And she starts with the elixirs. And she doesn't give as much detail to each card. She just basically groups them all together, and she gives you rules, emotional and relationship matters, and astrological correspondences, because the cups represent water signs. So she's done the same with here, an element of water, and the season. So basically in the minor arcanas, she gives you the card, and then she gives you the meaning. And she does that with all of the minor arcana. And then she goes into the rods and does the same thing. Rules, creative and spiritual matters, astrological correspondences, element fire, and the season. And then flip through those. And then the suit of coins, same thing. Physical and monetary manners, astrological, earth, and the season. And she does the same thing with those. And then she finishes it off with the suit of blades, which are mental, intellectual manners, astrological, element, season. So her guidebook is pretty detailed. And then you have your bio page. Okay, so that is pretty much the guidebook. Okay, so let's look at these cards themselves. And why did I put the guidebook away? Oh my goodness. Okay, so the cardstock could be better. It's very bendy, flexible, but I wish it was a little bit thicker. And since these are regular size tarot decks, if you don't have too much of an issue in shuffling those, these should be easy. If you have small hands and have trouble with the regular tarot, you will struggle with these as well, unfortunately. Okay. And the material itself is, it's not high glossy, but it's okay. Alright, so let's pick a card and see what this deck wants us to know as a message. The Ace of Rods. Okay. Okay, so Ace of Rods. Okay. The Ace of Rods represents raw creative energy in the universe. You find inspiration everywhere you look, especially in terms of career and artistic pursuits. Just having an idea is not quite enough to get you where you need to go. So remember to nurture the things you create as well. Trust your gut and don't be afraid to take risk. The fire of the rod suits wants to spread. You have to move quickly or you may lose the spark. Keywords: raw creative energy, good vibes, passion, excitement, and spirituality. Alright then. So that is pretty much what is up with this deck. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for spending time with me, and let me know what you thought about the deck in the comments below. Did you like it? Love it? Hate it? Eh? If you bought it after seeing a video of mine, please let me know so I know if what I'm doing is having an impact or not on people. If there's a deck you would like to see in a future video, let me know as well. And I will have Claire's socials in the description. So if you want to check out her other endeavors, please do so. And once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope that you will join me for another video. But until then, take care and goodbye, my dears.